Hello again, everybody. It's Todd Stewart, the Horror Nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. It's Friday night, the first night of the convention. Things are winding down a little bit. Still a lot of fans coming out to meet all their favorite celebrities and horror icons. And I have the pleasure of sitting here with one of my personal favorites, and I do mean that, the lovely and talented Catherine Mary Stewart. Catherine, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good.
I sometimes still can't believe that I get to do this.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, me too, by the way. I mean, what a great job this is. But it's also so great to be able to come out to these conventions and meet, the people that really kind of make our careers possible. So I'm so grateful to be here. And this is actually the first one I've done for, I think, over 2 years because of COVID.
Well, sure.
So I'm back.
Sure. Well, we've been talking about that amongst ourselves and amongst the other people I've spoken to, how great it is just to be out again among people, right?
I know. It really is. It's not, I live in New York, and for such a long time it was just completely shut down, and finally Broadway's opening up again and you can go out to dinner again, and it is. It's nice, but I feel like I'm still tiptoeing a little bit.
I get you, I get it. Me too.
Yeah.
Like still there's like a little thing like somewhere in the back of my head like, is this okay?
Yeah, exactly. It was intense,
It was.
Yeah.
It was. But here we are. Right?
Right.
So it's been a few years since we spoke down at Scares That Care, which, by the way, and I swear this is true, my daughter still talks about it.
Aww.
Like, she had such a blast that she got to meet people.
Yeah, that was really fun with her.
I am, over the years, I've been introducing her to all the movies that I grew up with. Night of the Comet, Last Starfighter, everything. And so now she's understands.
Right, right. Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun interviewing with her too. And that was a really great convention because of just what it contributes to and what it stands for. I just love doing that particular convention.
Yeah. So what have you, obviously we just talked about, the COVID's impact, but what have you been up to? Are you working on any new projects now that things are kind of opening up a little bit?
Well, one of the great things about COVID for me, because we were all sort of shut in, it gave me a chance to work on a script that I've been working on for a couple of years, actually, with a co-writer. He and I spent a lot of time working on that. It's a vehicle for me to not only act in, but direct. And it's been picked up by a production company up in Canada, which is where I'm from originally. It was sort of designed to be a Canadian production because of me being Canadian and my co-writer being Canadian.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with Catherine Mary Stewart. Catherine, you were saying you were about COVID and a project that you're working on.
Right. So during COVID, during the shutdown, gave me a chance to really focus on this script that I've been working on with a writing partner. And it's been optioned by a Canadian production company.
Great.
And it's just slowly but surely picking up momentum, and it's a vehicle for me to not only act in but to direct, because directing is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and the little bits and pieces that I have done, I just love it with a passion. So that's sort of where I see myself moving towards.
Oh, cool. Cool. I hear that a lot, but it's like 50-50. A lot of the actors I talk to are like, nope, I love acting, I love what I do, have no desire to get behind the camera. And then the other half is like, oh, I can't wait to direct.
Right. Even on the projects that I've worked on, I always, if I wasn't working that day, I would go on set anyway, because I just loved being behind the camera. Was always fascinated by the process behind the camera. I love being in front of the camera too, because that's a whole other thing. But it really is a different world behind the camera. So I find it very interesting, and the sort of concept of being in control of the whole picture,
Sure.
and having sort of that understanding from the beginning, middle, and end, and all the characters, and visualizing what it's going to look like, what it's going to be like, what the tone, everything. So that's always been fascinating to me.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I love hearing about stuff that people are up to.
Yeah.
So when I look at your banner, I see all the stuff that you've worked on. Night of the Comet, Weekend at Bernie's, World Gone Wild, Last Starfighter. So many roles, so many of them iconic. Do you have a personal favorite?
Well, that's a great question. The thing about working as an actor, and something that I've always been very grateful for, is that the roles are very different. So I really sort of reveled in the fact that each role that I play is quite different from the other, especially as I've gone on in my career. I've played so many different things. And they're new and unique challenges each time. I mean, I have to say, Last Starfighter was the first movie that I did in California when I moved to California, and it was just a glorious experience. It was just like Nick Castle, the director, was lovely. Lance Guest, lovely Lance.
Greetings, Starfighter.
Yes, he and I are still really good friends. I mean, it was just a lovely experience in general. And so I'm so happy that it's had the resiliency that it's had. Night of the Comet was a whole different kind of a thing. I call it guerrilla filmmaking. It was low budget. We shot in the most iconic places like downtown Los Angeles. You could never do that today unless you had a massive budget where you had like an army of policemen shutting down the streets because it's so popular now. But at that time, we shot like Christmas Eve or first thing Christmas morning. And in those days, there was nobody living down there anyway. So we managed to shoot this movie in downtown LA, which is amazing. So that was a whole different experience, but a great one as well. Kelly and I, again, are still really good friends. Mischief came right after that, which was a period piece set in the 50s. Had a great time doing that. So, when you ask what was my favorite, I can't say that something stands out as the favorite role that I ever played because, like I said, they all offer their own challenges, and they're all so satisfying in their own ways as well as an actor. So I'm just grateful that I've been able to work as much as I have.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'll let you get away with that. I'll let you totally cop out on answering the question. But
all of them is my answer.
That's great.
Every last one of them.
That is great. So one last question. A lot of the Last Starfighter, obviously, Night of the Comet, came out quite a long time ago. Does it ever surprise you that the fans still come to line up to talk to you, get your autograph about these movies?
Yes and no. I think when I first started doing conventions, it really surprised me because I had no idea that there was the fan base that there was. But the more that I do these conventions, I think I've gained sort of an understanding as to why the fans are as dedicated as they are. I think that these little movies that were done in the 80s that were character driven and characters that the audience could really relate to, and also probably the audience they sort of catered to this age that is they're at this pivotal age where maybe it was the first movie that they got to go to without their parents, or wasn't a Disney movie or something like that. You always remember those moments, and so I think there's several things that contribute to why they've had the longevity that they've had. I think the characters are relatable, the stories are inspiring, and they're about these characters that are at a pivotal time in their lives, and the audience, these kids can relate to them, and now they're in their 40s or 50s and they're like, that was the most amazing time in my life. So excuse me. So I think it's wonderful. I'm just so pleased that these little movies had the impact that they did.
Fantastic. So before I leave you, any last words out there for the fans here at New Jersey HorrorCon?
Oh, well, I appreciate you all. I wouldn't be here without you. And come on down if you can, if you see this before it's over. But I love meeting you all. It really, it's so much fun, and you inspire me. So, thank you.
Fantastic. Catherine, it is always a joy to speak with you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for a few minutes of your time.
My pleasure.
And some insights into your life. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Say hi to your daughter.
I will. Catherine Mary Stewart, everybody here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm the horror nerd Todd Stewart signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.